I were the marrying kind, which thank the Lord I'm not, sir, the kind of man that I would be a rugby fullback. I find touch, she find touch, we both find touch together. We'd be alright in the middle of the night, finding touch together. If I were the marrying kind, which thank the Lord I'm not, sir, the kind of man that I would be a wing three-quarter. I'd go on.
All right, this is Initiate the Contact, Steve Murray and Dayle Runner. Take 2 on this Wednesday night as we're live just after 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast of Virginia Beach, Virginia, the United States. And Coach Dayle, I guess we have sound now, but man, audio engineer has been the job I've dreaded since day one of this broadcasting network, and it rears its ugly head again. I'm just glad we didn't have a guest on listening to me and you ramble into dead air. So we will get rid of that, and we are live now. And actually probably going to work out better for us because now we do have a good guest coming on the show here.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a quick recap of Major League Rugby.
All right.
And then we're going to have on our guy, Jeff Adamczyk. He is the president of North Bay Rugby. All right. And that is your opponent in the playoff game this weekend after you guys beat Virginia this past weekend. Go ahead and recap that. You gave a good shout out to Virginia, so I want you to repeat all that. But follow up on the game that you played last week, and let's talk about the game just a hair coming up this week. And then we're going to get into Major League Rugby real fast, and we'll get the guest on down on the farm, et cetera. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Steve. My Newport News Mariners, I want to say congratulations to all my players and coaches. We won the regular season championship, and we also won our first round playoffs. So we're 9-0. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of I don't know the exact words I want to use because it's like I'm speechless because I'm so humbled to be in this situation after 1 year. I didn't think we was going to be this good this early. And after I took over on March 1st of 2022, I knew I was going to bring, players in, which is an easy thing for me because I just work at that. That's one of my good points. But so Virginia men, I want to congratulate them as well because those guys traveled 3 long weekends in a row from up in Charlottesville. They came to us 3 weeks ago. Then they went to Virginia Beach the next week, and then they had to come back to us last week to play in the playoffs. And hey, man, them guys a lot of class, man. They got a lot of good guys. Kerry, Ross, Kerry, Kyle, Doug, Jose, everybody up there, man. I appreciate everything you do, Cody. Thank y'all for giving us a hell of a game and a hell of a match 2 out of 3 weeks. Actually, we played you 3 times in 5 weeks. And we want to thank you for having such a good rugby club. And we want y'all to keep doing what you're doing and recruit more players. That way you guys can help out the western part of the state and make that better. But like I said, you gave us a hell of a battle. I think y'all we just had a little bit more talent this time and a little bit more depth, and it sort of wore on you. But you know what? Love you guys. Keep coming at us, man. And you made us better. And now we're off this Saturday, and we have to go to North Bay up in Maryland. We have to play North Bay up there, who I've seen beat Nova 3. And we're looking forward to that. We haven't played them since like 2016. I believe we went up there in the regionals that time, and we won 14-10. And it was a good game, but I'm looking forward to playing you guys, and we'll see what we can do. We have a lot of athletes, but we're really green in a lot of areas, but we're getting better.
All right, mate, we're going to get more into that with Down on the Farm and our guest coming up. We have the North Bay president again, Jeff Adamczyk, and we'll get his thoughts on his team. So an extended Down on the Farm playoff style coming up. Before we get the Major League Rugby scores, go ahead and hit me with your USA Rugby stat. Let's get that out of the way. Then we'll go MLR Rugby real quick, and we'll get our guest on.
Sure. Okay, so with USA Rugby, I just want to say shame on you guys. I know a lot of people don't like what I got to say because they're like, oh, man, you have no tackle diplomacy. Oh, well. But here's the biggest problem I have with USA Rugby. Okay, everybody knows I'm big on geography, populations, and all that. I know where these people live, they live here, there, and all that. So in the USA, we have approximately 332 million people. We have 11 teams ranked above us. Actually, it's like 15, but I know of these 11 teams. So these 11 teams, they have 368 million people, which is Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, France, England, Scotland, Ireland, Italy, Argentina, Canada, and Wales. Wales has 3 million people. We have that many people in the Tidewater area, okay, approximately, okay? You're going to tell me in USA Rugby, I get it, man. We have 3,400 to 4,000 athletes who play the 4 major sports and makes $1 million a year. But you're going to tell me that USA Rugby cannot get in the top 5 in the world? I mean, we have youth rugby all over the nation, but the recruiting process just stinks. And this is what I mean by this. So if you run a rugby club and you're the coach or the president, either one of them, and you just show up to practice, but you don't do anything else other than that, other than what's on the perimeter of the rugby pitch, you're failing your rugby club and you're failing USA Rugby. Because I don't want to hear, well, they should be responsible because they're 18 years of age. Yeah, we get all that. We know that. But what else are you doing? So if you get an athlete, you recruit him, he comes on a Tuesday, but he don't show up Thursday, are you just not going to talk to him again? You're just going to wait for him to show back up? Probably not going to happen. So that's why teams fail at Division II and Division III levels. It's even happening at Division I levels, actually. So we got all these cats that run or in these higher level rugby who got all these like 5 degrees, master doctorates and all that. And they know every law about rugby, but you can't get 5 people to the pitch. And you can't even coach the game. But yet you want to criticize other teams for this, that, and the other. But you're not doing any work off site. So until you do that, no matter what you know on the pitch or what do you know about the laws is irrelevant. So USA Rugby, you better get your recruiting system straight, because what you need to do is have 4 or 5 people in each state to recruit these people.
Yeah, they need some sort of outreach program.
They need some outreach program. Yeah. You don't need to just go. So I'll give you an example. Virginia, Norfolk's the only Division I club. Is that the only team you're going to go to? I mean, if you do, then you're failing the whole system.
They should have some sort of a scout who can cover all of Virginia. College players too. Maybe pick up a game here or there. Or,
that's right.
Maybe sometimes you see 2 games in the weekend if you play on an obscure day.
That's
or
right.
Something that'd be a nice little salary.
So
that the SIP could pay for someone to do that kind of weird job.
Yeah, exactly. So really, we need to get better at that, because there's no reason why we should be. Why are we 13th to 18th in the world? That's insane. Okay, we need to get better at that. I mean, I didn't start playing until I was 30, but it's like, come on, people, you younger guys got to get on board, man. You got to do more work off site, not just. And then nowadays, everybody, man, if you get a bent eyelash or your toenail sore, you can't play a B-side game. It's just crazy, man. Me and Johnny Law back in the day, Scott Miller, Marty Edridge, Denny Mel, we played 2 games every Saturday. It didn't matter if we had elbows dislocated, sore knees, ankles, this, that, and the other. We played on the pitch 2 matches every Saturday. There's no reason why, unless your leg is broken, you have an Achilles tear, something where you can't move, that you shouldn't be playing A and B side game every Saturday, because that's the way you're going to keep younger players coming out there to make your A side better. This is all levels. We need to get that straight. That's pretty much it on the USA Rugby scene.
Coming out heavy out of the gate, Coach Dayle, right off the bat of the new show, Take 2 tonight. So I love it. All right, let's skip through Major League Rugby, and then I want to get our guest on. We need to have an extended down on the farm segment, because we have 2 playoff rivalries, maybe a new rivalry going head to head here on the program. But Major League Rugby, we talked about that, and I've seen a lot of the games the last week. You got to peek in on some as well. You had good picks. I had good picks. I feel like we have a good tap on the league and all the happenings. And these are all the Cliff Notes versions of Take 1 here. But San Diego, they're a great team. They're not allowing a lot of points, just 96 on the year. same as Seattle. So those are your two best defense of teams. It's a three-way logjam with Seattle, San Diego, and Houston, the top of that division. In the West, Utah lurking up there as well. And we're talking about nice wins last week. Let's just start on that one first. Utah beats New England. Fun team. I've kind of adopted them as my fun team to watch. They've done a good job with that back line and the big man back there. But you like the New England inside center, right, Dayle?
I sure do. I like the way he runs. A lot of people want to try to do all this juking and everything, right? I get it if you're in open field and you got a guy that's unathletic compared to you and you can run around him. I get all that. Man, in rugby, man, run straight. And yes, I'm telling you, pads, to run straight. Everybody at every level, because you're not going to have a lot of open play, especially in Division II and Division III. It's going to be a lot of grunt work. And, the one that does the hardest grunt work and is in the best shape is going to win those matches. I can guarantee you that. Because at lower levels, you don't have a lot of kicking going back 50 and 50 yards back and forwards. That's just not realistic. And anybody believes that they're crazy, it's just not going to happen.
Other games that were good, results-based. Let me get back to that because we had everything else going on here. I got off of it. But NOLA had a really good game with Seattle. Yeah. They had a chance to win there. Maybe a questionable whistle. I don't know if it was questionable or not. I wasn't right there next to it, but it seemed like the whistle happened with a lot of bodies there and maybe not a chance for the ball to get out. But NOLA falls short against Seattle, 35-36. But that was a fun game. You saw some of that too, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, you got to – that's why I tell everybody, right, and I coach this and I condition people on this. You got to get back on your feet, man. Once you make that tackle and you're rucking, man, don't waste your energy, man. Get back up and get to the side because only bad things happen when you have mountains in there. You got 7 or 8 dudes laying on top of each other, there's going to be a call, either laying on the ball, not releasing, playing the ball on the ground. There's going to be some garbage in there. So, you need to get back on your feet and get flat on defense, post and pillar. Quit wasting energy sitting on top of that pile, brother.
And in the East, New England is the only team above 500. They do have 20 points. NOLA, the second-place team at 3-4. Even Toronto at 105. Still in it in the sense that you get 4 points a win. So they could jump up to second here after a few weeks if everyone else had a bad get-go of it. And Toronto, how about that? That's our first home game coming up this week against New York, but they need to rebound. They gave Dallas their first win of the season. Dallas gets off the hook. They win 14-11. How about that, Dayle?
Yeah, they've played 3 games really good in a row. So
Dallas has lost by 5 points combined?
Yeah,
in the last 3 games.
So they're playing
or won the game, but they lost the other 2 by a point. Yeah,
right. They're playing really well. So they're disciplined, but maybe they're just short on, tight 5. Maybe they're getting beat off of that or whatever it might be. They might not come in prepared right, but it seems like the whole matches, they're staying in the game. So evidently they're in good enough shape. And maybe that's what that coach has to do. I have to coach that. And, I see it all the time. You get at higher level of rugby. I don't need to condition people because they got to do it on their own time. We don't have time to condition. But we got to work on this, setting the ball for 3 hours, and it still fails when you get to match. So it's complete garbage. So Dallas, I think they're working well. That guy's running them to death, and they're in shape. And I did see a lot of good post and pillow defense out of them. Good on you guys.
In other games, New York, they withhold Atlanta 31-20. As I said, in take 1, there was like 2 ships, one slowly going away in the distance ahead of the other. Chicago gets 21 points scored for them, which is a nice offensive output. But the problem there is they gave up 38 points to Houston, who is one of the better teams there in the West. Games coming up next week, and then we'll go ahead and get our guest on here. We'll breeze through this somewhat fast. All the games are on Saturday because of Easter, more than likely. The first one is on Fox Sports 1. Everything else is on the Rugby Network, which can be downloaded, and you can watch the games for free. But Fox Sports 1, New England Free Jacks against Chicago, 20.5-point favorites for New England. If you like Chicago, you can get them 16-1 on the payout. You have a feeling, Dayle, that this is going to be a hammered job by the Free Jacks at home?
Yeah, I believe they're going to, win that game. But you know what? taking the 20 points, man, because these dudes got to. I mean, how many knock-ons are you going to have, and how many missed tackles you're going to have to get beat by 20? At that level, it should never happen. If you're both at the professional level, I mean, I understand it can happen, man, because one day you might have come in ready to play or whatever it might be. But come on, man, the main thing Chicago's got to do, right? All these teams that are losing, first thing I got to start doing is working on defense. I guarantee it. All they care about is trying to score points, and they're screwing up every week, and it's costing them. And I guarantee they'll do no conditioning, no defensive pressure, no getting to the game line to try to stop these guys. You know what I'm saying? So you look at these losing teams, that's probably what's going on right there.
Let's see. Toronto hosts New York, a rematch. Toronto getting plus 360 at home. This is their first home game. They should come out excited since that is the case. But New York is a 9.5 point favorite on the road. Earlier in the first game, New York, Rugby New York, destroyed. I keep wanting to say New England, right? Destroyed Toronto in New York. Yeah. So can we see the same thing again here?
Yeah, steel workers, man. Their defense is like steel workers, man. They work hard. They got a good. I mean,
iron workers, but the same thing, right?
Oh, is that what it is? I'm sorry. Hey, man, I've had a long day. But look, but yeah, they got good flat line defense. They spread well. A lot of communication. You actually could hear them on the TV saying, spread out, come out. That's what you need in rugby. Everybody needs to be like scientists. On our team, you can hear them 17 miles away. Whereas you have somebody like Dylan, when he's talking about it, he's like, come loud. Dylan, can't nobody hear you, man. Speak up. That's what I'm saying. These guys are loud, and you can hear them all the way in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Old Glory DC is at Atlanta this week, Dayle. Atlanta, we thought that's the one team that could have been better than what they are. It's not like they've been getting completely blown out. I mean, they've been hanging in games. They just don't end up scoring a lot. They do give up some points. Old Glory is an over team. They give up a lot of points, score a lot of points so far. But does Atlanta get the stand at home here and win this game?
Yeah. Every time I watch Old Glory play, they're very undisciplined. They're out of position. I see these guys kick to them, and I see no rotation with the wing back to the fullback. I'm like, that's like automatic. If the wing inserts, one way or the other, the opposite wing has got to be starting to go back that way, at least make an attempt. Man, they got burnt twice last week on that. They need to step that game up on that. That's rugby 101, baby. I'm telling you.
All right, Houston is playing Utah. Utah getting 10 points. I like Utah. They're a fun team to watch. Houston's really strong, though, so good test for Utah. But so was New England, and Utah was able to pass that test. But can they take that act on the road and win in Houston, Dayle?
I don't know, man. The SaberCats, they might have the best scrum half in the whole
shebang.
Helmet, or sometimes I'm lost for words on that. But yeah, I think they got the best, scrum half, because what they do, I've watched a couple of their games. That guy, he gets them refocused. And I've seen him a lot of times. He'll get his hands out there and he'll say, calm down, forwards, calm down. Because he'll be trying to do too much inside, which is cool, man. You never want to take away no athletic ability. That's where a lot of guys in rugby fail, especially with coaching, even at higher levels. If you got a superior athlete, you want to not take nothing away from him. You just need to refine him. But if you take away his natural abilities, then you're going to take away his able ways to learn the rugby. So a lot of people fail with that because they think everything's got to be a complete structured rugby down to the T, and that's where a lot of teams fail.
So that's an 8:00 kickoff Eastern Standard Time. Old Glory in Atlanta is a 6:00 kickoff. Okay. Again, the Rugby Network, if you want to watch those games on the app. The first game, New England, Chicago, is on the Fox Sports 1 at 2:00 p.m. And the final game, another rematch, Seattle minus 310, San Diego plus 290. San Diego's getting 7 points here on the road. They've been red hot. Seattle is the only undefeated team. These appear to be the two top teams in the league. And here we are, rematch already, in which Seattle won at San Diego earlier in the season. What happens here, Dayle?
I'm going to use an old Art Schleister thing. If you remember, Art Schleister was a quarterback for Ohio State, like to gamble a lot, right? So you were talking about the +3. It's funny because Art Schleister said when San Diego Chargers play the Seattle Seahawks, no one cares about the game. The only thing they care about is the plus or -3. But anyway, I believe that San Diego's going to pull the upset this week. You're going to lose eventually. So I believe this is the week they lose. I think it's going to be like a 27-24 game.
Okay. I'm going to take for my pick of the week, I'm going to take New York to win at Toronto because I had that earlier in the season. I'll pick the same thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Utah to hang in there with the 10 points at Houston. Do you have a pick?
Yeah. So like I said, I'm going to take the Chicago to 20. And then I'm going to take Atlanta to win over Old Glory.
Lay in the 6 points there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We got definitely some good viewers tuned in. We have good sound. I don't want to go to commercial,
Yeah,
but I want to give me and you another beer, at least me. I need to get our boy on the line from North Bay. So Dayle, I'm going to give you a question. You babble for a good 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
I got you.
And how about this? What did you tell your team? We'll start the down on the farm segment now. We'll get the North Bay president on here in a minute, who is the opponent for Coach Dayle in the playoffs. So this will be interesting. We have the rival teams on the air at the same time. God willing, the phone audio works. Warning in advance, but I have nephew Dave listening in. He's going to tell me right off the bat if we need to get off this train, Dayle. We might have to talk more Major League Rugby spreads if this falls apart, but we'll cross our fingers that this works. But what did you tell your team after victory? Those locker room moments. Obviously, you're happy with the win. You want to look forward. But tell me what you told your team Saturday after the victory versus Virginia.
All righty. Thank you, sir. So when we were getting in a game, when Virginia men came down, they played us really tight the first 20-25. They were running hard. Our defense, like I said, I stress defense all day. And we do the conditioning for us to be in the correct position, because if you're out of shape, you can't tackle or be in the correct position. So what I did was I told these guys, they're going to come in here. They're going to try to break our will, try to get in our heads or whatever. Well, they weren't able to do that, but they played hard. I got to give them credit, man, between Kerry, Nathan, Kyle, Cody, the rest of them, Doug, you name them, man. They give 100% all day, And what we did is we shut them down on the defensive side. And then after we got our first try, we broke their will. So what happens is when a team gets scored upon first after we've already lost to a team a couple of times, and we've had this happen to us before, then the middle part of the game comes in. So now you start guessing, you'll get out of position, and then a few more things will start opening up. So I got a couple of great athletes like Jose Rogers. He's a dynamic 8-man player. Then I got a couple of old cagey veterans like Gerald Fisher and Brandon Marloff, who we call scientists. And 10-year-old who's the strongest player probably in the VRU. The guy can squat and deadlift over 5. And then, like in our backfield, we got a lot of good rugby players back there. We're only getting better. Caleb Jennings has come miles and miles. This guy is in better shape than everybody in the VRU, I can promise you. Guy never gets tired. But his rugby game has gotten better. So what happened was, once we got our first try against Virginia men, after that we scored again. We got up 21-0, and then we just broke their will. And we ended up winning 42-17. They got a couple of tries there at the end to make it look closer than what it really was. But I want to give them all credit because they traveled 3 long weekends in a row to play us. They traveled to us 3 weeks ago. Then they traveled to Virginia Beach, and then they came to us again. So thank you, Kerry, and tell the rest of them I appreciate y'all's great effort. And this week we're going to North Bay, and we're going to go up there and play these guys. I don't know what they have. I have no idea how many athletes they have, what kind of rugby they know. We're just going to go up there and play and hope to have the best time of our life, and hopefully we'll get to the next round and play in the regions.
Well, Coach Dayle, you're in luck because right now we have on the North Bay president, Jeff Adamczyk, and if this is not an inspiration to you, Coach Dayle. I don't know what is. So this is going to tell you the strategy you might need to portray. You're talking about an inside center / prop here. And Mr. Jeff Adamczyk, who is the president of North Bay. Hey, Jeff, man, we appreciate you joining the show tonight. How you doing, man? And congratulations to your team, North Bay, and the success for their season. My co-host is Dayle Runner. He's the coach of Newport News, your opponent this week. But let's go ahead and talk about your season. How did it go? How has your team lived up to expectations? Or maybe have you had like a younger unit who's exceeded expectations? Kind of give the audience a feel of everything in the past year or so with North Bay and you guys reaching the milestone you're at now.
Well, the conference we're in is pretty deep. Got good balance of skill and everything. And, we've had a bunch of tests and everything. So it's been good. We've gotten a lot of experience, different guys. So for us, I mean, we're looking at a team that's got a good level of experience. I mean, I've been around a while. So, like, I've actually coached a lot of these guys in high school and stuff, and now I'm still running around with them on the field. So that's pretty cool. And then we got a bunch of new guys, so we're working them in, getting them experience, teaching them rugby. So, we're pretty well balanced. We got a good number of guys at our position. So,
but man, Coach Dayle, this is a man who lives in your shoes. I mean, you've seen some of these guys since they were kids. You coached with them, you played with them, and all of that. What do you got for Jeff there?
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
No problem. I'm doing good. Doing good.
All right. We appreciate you hosting us this next coming Saturday. But I see y'all are doing well there, and we're looking forward to it. I mean, I've been with this team 30 years, but I basically took over last March.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get us back to where we need to be. It's not easy, being the head coach and president of a club, believe me.
Yeah, I know.
And I know y'all got a lot of big boys. I remember we played y'all in 16, I believe it was.
Yeah, thinking back, trying to think of the last time we played each other. It's been a while.
Yeah, when we where was that at? We played.
It was at it was at one of our turf fields. I can't remember why we played there, but
yeah,
we had access to a lot of fields up where we were, and one of your guys finished the game with a hell of a nasty injury. That
yeah. But so how long?
That thing went a bunch of different directions.
Right. So how long have you been playing rugby, sir?
30 years.
Tell us your story, man. How'd you get involved? Like, where did you start? I mean, if you're anything like me, I was sitting there hanging out with some friends, and then I had no idea that sport existed. And then I had this guy walk into my life who I saw for an instant. He said, "Come play rugby." I'm like, okay. Never saw him again, and I was playing rugby forever, which I don't know how that happened. So it's like some great rugby prophet came out of the sky. But do you have any good story about how you started? How you learned?
No, it's like the same as all of us. I mean, everybody I'm 49 years old. Like, we all started. I was playing football, got injured, couldn't play anything. So my spring year rolled around and met some guys at a rugby party, went to a rugby social. And next thing you know, I dropped my football scholarship and was playing rugby for 30 years. So, that's kind of how it happened, really, to be honest.
Did you play in college or just men's club?
Yeah, I played in college. Yeah.
Where did you play?
Originally like Portland rugby, then I moved to Maryland '99. So I've been with North Bay. I started with North Bay, and then played for PAC, and then I played for back to North Bay, and then I went to back to North Bay. So I've been the president or vice president for the last 15 years of the club. So
sweet. Yeah, I've been playing 30 years myself.
And, I coach the high school and middle school girls now. So.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I've actually coached the Old Dominion women at one point.
Yep.
So, I mean, how much fun is that though? Coaching? Are you having more fun as a coach, or obviously you embraced it? You've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah.
You've been the president or vice president for 15 years. So you are able to carry the weight as an exec. But how much extra time does that really take in your life? Talk about the commitment a little bit, and what do you do to keep yourself motivated in those maybe down times, or we had COVID, that'd be a good example.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, the last 20 years I've bounced around. Sorry, my voice is cracking a little bit because the girls had a game last night and spent the last 2 minutes trying to tell them to kick the ball out of bounds because we were winning. Actually in extra time too. Well, yeah, it was past 10 time. But
did y'all win?
Yeah, we beat Corning 27-24. So, and they were losing a half. So,
what's the name of your school? So everyone knows.
Well, North Bay. I coached North Bay.
Oh, the North Bay women.
Yeah, North Bay middle school and high school girls. Yeah. Okay. So the last 20 years, I've kind of bounced around. I mean, I've coached mostly women's teams over the last 20 years, but I've coached college, senior women. I coached Seven River women, and then I went to Towson University, and then I helped out a bunch of teams that couldn't find coaches and stuff. I was helping out UMBC and Johns Hopkins and coaching Towson at the same time. So. I bounced around a little bit, but I took a couple of years off and then started the middle school girls team at North Bay, and this year I took over the high school team too. So, and to answer your question, I mean, what kind of motivates me is, I was talking to one of the parents the other day, and every kid has this moment where, I've taken a lot of kids from beginning to, some girls have played in the Eagles or, All-American teams or whatever. And, every kid has the same thing. They get this light bulb moment, and it's literally like a cartoon light bulb popping over their head going, oh, my God, everything you said to me all this time makes sense. And that's sort of the motivating factor. And, last night, we gave the player of the match to two girls that sort of excelled beyond, anything we've ever seen. One was a little tiny normal wing. We put a fullback, and she was making tackles to save 4 or 5 tries. And then the other girl was the second row, that pretty timid player. She's still learning, and you've really never seen her make a tackle before. And this girl is so funny. She got high tackled, literally collared, and places the ball. She didn't realize that she got high tackled. She turns around, places the ball perfectly, and you're like, yo, Victoria, you just got horse collared, but. Anyway, so it's stuff like that. It's the little stuff that keeps you motivated and everything. And playing, I don't know. It's in my blood, I guess. I mean, I stopped being a serviceable rugby player. Start playing old boys, I guess.
All right. So Dayle, you got any last questions here?
Yeah. So I see we're playing at DeMarco Park, correct?
Yep. I'm sure.
And that's right there on 999 Middleton. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's pretty. Once you get off the exit, there's a Starbucks there. It's right off 95, so it's nice and easy for people to come north and south. And like I told one of your guys, I'm like, there's a lot of inexpensive hotels there and everything, so it's actually a great place for us to come. We're working on getting a regulation rugby pitch there that can host national events and that sort of thing. So that's a great place for it. So.
Yeah, a lot of guys will be coming up Friday night, and the rest of us will be coming up Saturday morning first thing. But we're really looking forward to it. We've had a pretty favorable schedule this spring. This is the longest road trip we have.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it, and I always appreciate everybody that gives 100% in this sport, whether you're on the executive, whether you're coaching, whether you're playing, because whatever job you're doing, especially if you're in the executive position, head coaching, it's not easy.
Yeah, we put a lot of time in it. It's a lot of thankless time too. So
yes.
I mean, full well that we'll never get the thanks that we kind of deserve from this whole thing. But we do it for the love of the game and growing the game and that sort of thing. So
that's right.
That's why we all do it. So.
How rare are the playoffs for you in your career? I mean, have you been a part of a lot of playoffs in the past? I know with my team, Virginia Beach, we were left on the cusp of the playoffs for 4 years. We get lost on point differentials. So just getting there is a huge step for us. Other teams are there all the time, maybe taken for granted. But how about you personally? What kind of satisfaction do you see in making the playoffs this year?
It's a great thing to be where we are now. We make the playoffs a good amount. It's not it's rare. Last year, we lost to a really physical Rappahannock team. And, I was sort of deflating a little bit, but we're back and, doing well. I mean, we lost to Old Blue, who eventually won the national championship. I can't remember what year, but, that was a few years ago. And, early on we played down in Virginia Beach. And there's some great stories from that one. Like doing a land shark into a wedding.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you probably were, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we've been involved in the playoffs and stuff. So we're looking forward to this. I mean, it's not like new territory or anything for us. So we're getting fit, getting ready, and looking forward to you guys coming up. We're going to host a good social afterwards. So we got a great partner bar. We're looking forward to having you guys up, and hopefully tons of people there, cheering us all on.
All right, Jeff Adamczyk, he's the president and coach of North Bay, joining our show. Dayle, you got any last questions?
I just want to say thank you for taking your time out, because I'm the head coach and president as well. I've been playing 30 years, but I didn't start till I was 30. I'll be 61 this year, and I still play here and there like I'm a crazy fool for doing it, but
we all are.
Man, but this game is so addicting, whatever part you're in. And, one thing about it, we leave the respect on the pitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, definitely.
All right. We appreciate it, man. Be safe. Good luck this weekend, and have fun out there. All right. I'm sure Coach Dayle will join, have a pint or two after the game.
Yeah, we definitely will. Sure will. Yep, you betcha.
Peace out.
All right.
Bye now, guys.
Jeff Adamczyk, president and coach of North Bay. So that was good, Dayle. I think hopefully we caught everything up. I definitely do have some weird studio shit here, but I think everything sounded good according to Nephew Dave. But it's getting late, man. I've kept you longer and all that.
You ain't got to worry about it.
So we'll go ahead and
my wife
wrap it all.
My wife knows what time it is. She loves this sport just as much as me.
All right. So Major League Rugby, good games coming up. You got our picks from Coach Dayle. We need better recruiting for USA Rugby for their team. That's for sure.
No lie.
And the playoffs for Coach Dayle at North Bay this weekend. So we'll have to come correct in the studio next week. And hopefully Coach Dayle has a victory celebration to discuss with us. All right?
Hopefully. Thank you, everybody, for sharing us.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get on out of here. This has been Initiate the Contact. I am Stephen Murray. He is the Coach Dayle runner. We will have fun this weekend with rugby, and we will talk to you next week.
Good night.
The kind of man that I would be a tight head forward. I fight tight, she fight tight, we both fight.